So there's a lot of debate with parenting experts and educators and psychologists about nature versus nurture, how much we can mold our children and each other into who we want them to be. When I was growing up, my mom really believed in nurturing me. She nurtured me hard. There were lectures, there was guilt and shame, there were arguments, there was a timeout seat, and when all else failed, there was a wooden spoon. I was nurtured. And when I got to be a teenager, the nurturing reached a real fever pitch because she was hoping that her nurturing would outweigh what comes naturally to teenagers. So when I would have a boyfriend, there'd be a lot of nurturing, including where I was allowed to go, when I had to be home, who I was allowed to be with. The rules were really arbitrary and specific. One of the things that weirdly I was permitted to do was go in the woods with them, because no living creature has ever had sex in the woods. So one time I was allowed to go mountain biking with a boyfriend, and there were really clear rules. Like, it was going to be a whole day affair, but we were to only stop to eat our lunch. And then as soon as our lunch was done, we promised to get back on our bikes and just keep biking. We promised. And we were allowed to stop at the end where there was an overlook to look at the view, but we were just gonna look at the view and then get back on our bikes and ride right home. We promised. So we went, and we were about 2 or 3 miles down the trail, and we stopped biking. The trail met up with a creek bed, and we went down in the creek bed, and we ate some little snacks, and then nature started to take its course. And things were going pretty well. And I was kind of shaking, and my eyes were closed, and the ground was shaking, and the ground was shaking. That was the new level. The ground had never shook. What's the word? Shook? It had never happened before. Okay. Nor since, thank God. So I stopped, he stopped, opened our eyes, and the ground is still shaking. And I look down the creek, but it's curved. And I look up the creek, but it's curved. And we can hear scrambling and branches breaking and splashing. And around the bend of the creek came an enormous black bear, lumbering straight towards us. We scrambled out of the creek bed, we got on our bikes, and we biked as fast as our little legs could take us. And we did not stop for the rest of that trail until we got to the view, and we enjoyed the view, had a chaste little kiss, and then we biked the whole rest of the way home. Because I think in the fight of nature versus nurture, at the end of the day, the kids are gonna do what comes naturally. But in the fight of nature versus nature, the bear is always gonna win.